There are battles many people fight that no doctor can diagnose and no ordinary solution can fix. Some people feel weak without understanding why. Some carry heaviness in their bodies and minds as if something invisible is draining their life. But there is a truth many have forgotten. God placed powerful healing and cleansing remedies in creation long before modern medicine existed. Hidden within simple, humble teas are powerful agents of restoration, gifts from nature that cleanse the body, calm the mind, and restore spiritual balance. But this message is not only about tea. It is about awakening. It is about realizing that your body is not designed to live in weakness. Your mind is not designed to live in confusion. Your spirit is not designed to live in fear. You are created to live with clarity, strength, and divine protection. When you take time to nourish your body with natural healing plants, you are doing more than drinking a warm cup. You are telling your body, I choose life. I choose cleansing. I choose restoration. Some teas purify the blood. Some calm the nervous system. Some strengthen the immune system. Some remove toxins that silently weaken the body. But the deeper secret is this: healing begins when intention meets discipline. A person who constantly feeds their body poison cannot expect strength. A person who never rests cannot expect peace. A person who ignores wisdom cannot expect transformation. The smallest daily habits shape the strongest lives. A simple cup of healing tea each day may look insignificant, but over time it becomes a ritual of renewal. A moment where the body slows down. A moment where the mind breathes. A moment where the spirit reconnects with the Creator. This is how restoration begins. Not with noise, not with chaos, but with quiet consistency. The ancient wisdom of healing reminds us that nature was never meant to harm us. It was created to serve us. Within leaves, roots, herbs, and plants are powerful remedies waiting for those who are willing to learn and apply them. But knowledge alone is not enough. Transformation belongs to those who act. If you truly want strength in your life, begin to treat your body like a sacred trust. Guard what enters it. Nourish it with wisdom. Cleanse it regularly. Respect the temple you live in. Because when the body becomes clean, the mind becomes clear. When the mind becomes clear, the spirit becomes strong. And when the spirit becomes strong, fear loses its power. Imagine waking up with energy instead of exhaustion. Imagine feeling peace instead of heaviness. Imagine living with the confidence that your body, mind, and spirit are aligned with purpose. That future begins with the choices you make today. Do not wait for a crisis before you value your health. Do not wait for weakness before you seek strength. Do not wait for darkness before you pursue light. Start today. Learn. Apply wisdom. Cleanse your body. Strengthen your spirit. Build habits that protect your life. Because the greatest healing secrets are not hidden from those who seek truth. They are revealed to those who are willing to act. So rise up, take responsibility for your health, and begin your journey of restoration today. Your body is waiting. Your strength is waiting. Your transformation is waiting. The question is simple. Will you take the first step today? Have you ever stopped for a moment and asked yourself a powerful question? What if the way I treat my body today is shaping the strength of my tomorrow? Many people rush through life without realizing that the body they carry every day is not just flesh and bones. It is the container of their energy, their thoughts, their emotions, and their purpose. Yet, so many people treat this sacred vessel carelessly, feeding it things that slowly weaken it, ignoring the signals it sends and neglecting the care it deserves. Imagine owning the most valuable treasure in the world. Would you leave it unprotected? Would you allow anything harmful to come near it? Of course not. You would guard it with discipline, awareness, and respect. In the same way, your body deserves that same level of protection. It is the living temple through which you experience life. Every heartbeat, every breath, every movement is proof that something powerful has been entrusted to you. But here is the truth that many people overlook. The body remembers everything. It remembers the food you eat, the stress you carry, the habits you repeat, and the rest you deny it. Day by day, choice by choice, you are either strengthening your body or weakening it. There is no neutral ground. Think about the quiet damage that often happens without warning. Small, unhealthy habits repeated daily can slowly drain vitality. Late nights, constant worry, poor nutrition, and neglect may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they create cracks in the foundation of your health. And when the foundation weakens, everything built on top of it begins to struggle. Now imagine the opposite scenario. Imagine waking up each day with the awareness that your body is something precious, something powerful, something worth protecting. When you begin to treat your body with honor, everything changes. The way you eat changes. The way you rest changes. The way you think about your health begins to transform. Guarding your body like a sacred temple means becoming intentional about what enters it. Not only food and drink, but also stress, negativity, and harmful routines. Many people focus only on physical toxins, yet emotional and mental burdens can be just as destructive. Constant worry, anger, and negative thinking can quietly exhaust the body and cloud the mind. A person who protects their body begins to make wiser choices. They become aware of what nourishes them and what slowly destroys them. They begin to understand that strength is not built overnight, but through consistent care. Each healthy meal, each moment of rest, each effort to reduce stress becomes an act of protection. There is also a deeper shift that happens when someone begins to guard their body with respect. They begin to value themselves differently. When you recognize that your body carries your dreams, your future, and your ability to fulfill your purpose, you stop treating it carelessly. You begin to move through life with greater awareness. Ask yourself another powerful question. What would happen if I started honoring my body every single day? Imagine the long-term impact of that decision. Energy begins to increase. The mind becomes clearer. The spirit becomes lighter. Strength slowly replaces weakness. Many people wait until their health begins to fail before they realize the importance of protecting their body. But wisdom teaches us something different. Wisdom teaches us to guard what is valuable before damage occurs. The strongest people are not the ones who wait for crisis. They are the ones who protect their strength long before weakness appears. And this protection begins with simple but powerful awareness. Understanding that your body is not ordinary, that it carries a purpose greater than comfort or convenience, and that every choice you make today is shaping the condition of the temple you live in tomorrow. What if the biggest transformation in your life did not begin with a giant decision, but with one small habit repeated every single day? Most people are waiting in for a dramatic moment, a sudden breakthrough, or a powerful event that will change everything overnight. But the truth that many successful and healthy people understand is far simpler and far more powerful. The small choices you make daily are quietly building the future you will eventually live. Think about this for a moment. A single drop of water may seem insignificant, but when that drop falls consistently in the same place day after day, it can carve through stone. That is the hidden power of consistency. Small actions, when repeated over time, carry a force that is far greater than one big effort done once. Now ask yourself a serious question. What small habits are shaping your life right now? Every morning routine, every food choice, every moment you decide to rest or push yourself is contributing to the direction of your health and strength. Many people underestimated the impact of these tiny decisions because they do not see immediate results. But transformation rarely announces itself loudly in the beginning. Imagine someone who begins drinking one healthy herbal tea every day. On the first day, nothing dramatic happens. On the second day, the body feels the same. But weeks later, the body begins to respond. Energy slowly improves. Digestion becomes calmer. The system begins to rebalance itself. The change was not sudden, but it was powerful because it was consistent. This is the secret many people overlook. The body does not respond to occasional effort as strongly as it responds to daily discipline. One healthy action repeated over time becomes a powerful force of restoration. But here is another powerful thought. The same principle works in both directions. Just as small, healthy habits build strength, small, unhealthy habits slowly build weakness. A little extra sugar every day, a little less sleep every night, a little more stress carried without release. These things seem harmless in the moment, yet over months and years, they quietly accumulate. The human body is incredibly intelligent. It records patterns. It adapts to routines. It responds to what you repeatedly give it. When you give it nourishment regularly, it grows stronger, When you give it stress and neglect repeatedly, it begins to struggle. That is why the most powerful transformations are rarely the result of one dramatic change. They are the result of small, intentional decisions made consistently. A person who chooses to walk a little each day may not notice a change immediately, but months later, their body moves with more strength and endurance. Consider how habits shape identity. When you repeatedly choose healthier foods, you begin to see yourself as someone who values wellness. When you consistently protect your sleep, you begin to see yourself as someone who respects their body. Over time, these small actions do more than improve health. They reshape how you see yourself. And once identity begins to change, behavior becomes easier to maintain. A person who sees themselves as disciplined will naturally protect the habits that support that identity. Another powerful hook to consider is this. Imagine the compound effect of small improvements over a year. One healthy decision today may feel minor, but multiplied over 365 days, it becomes something extraordinary. One cup of healing tea, one moment of calm breathing, one nutritious meal, repeated day after day, can transform the internal environment of the body. Nature itself operates through this principle. Trees do not grow to great heights overnight. Rivers do not carve valleys in a single day. Growth happens slowly, quietly, steadily. Yet over time, the results become impossible to ignore. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to grow stronger through life's challenges while others slowly lose their energy, focus, and determination? The difference is rarely talent, luck, or even opportunity. The real difference often comes down to one powerful force that shapes every successful life. Discipline. Discipline is not loud. It does not always look exciting. In fact, most of the time it looks simple, quiet, and repetitive. But behind that simplicity lies one of the most powerful forces a human being can develop. Discipline is the invisible engine that turns potential into power. Think about this question for a moment. What separates a person who dreams about change from the person who actually transforms their life? It is not knowledge alone. Many people know what they should do to live healthier, stronger lives. They know they should rest properly, nourish their bodies, reduce stress, and maintain positive routines. Yet knowledge without discipline remains powerless. Discipline is the bridge between knowing and becoming. Imagine someone waking up early each morning when the body wants to stay comfortable in bed. That small act of choosing purpose over comfort is discipline. Imagine someone choosing nourishing food instead of quick, unhealthy options. That quiet decision is discipline. Imagine someone controlling their thoughts, refusing to dwell on negativity and fear. That inner strength is discipline. Every time a person chooses discipline over comfort, they are training their body and mind to become stronger. But here is a powerful hook many people miss. Discipline does not only build strength in the body, It also builds strength in the mind and spirit. When you repeatedly keep promises to yourself, something begins to shift inside you. Confidence grows. Self-respect deepens. You begin to trust your own ability to follow through. And that trust becomes a powerful source of inner strength. Consider how the body responds to disciplined habit. It's when someone consistently nourishes their body, rests properly, and protects their health, the body begins to reward that discipline with increased energy, better focus, and stronger immunity. The body loves consistency. It thrives when it receives regular care and protection. But discipline is not always easy in the beginning. Comfort often whispers louder than commitment. The mind may try to convince you to delay effort until tomorrow. The body may resist change at first because it is used to old patterns. Yet, every moment you choose discipline, you are quietly rewriting those patterns. Think about an athlete training for strength. The first workouts may feel exhausting. The body may resist the effort, but with every repetition, muscles grow stronger. Endurance increases. What once felt difficult slowly becomes normal. Life works the same way. Discipline gradually reshapes your limits. Another powerful truth is that discipline compounds over time. One disciplined action may seem small, but repeated over weeks, months, and years, it creates extraordinary transformation. A person who protects their health consistently will eventually carry an energy and clarity that others struggle to maintain. Ask yourself another important question. What areas of my life would change if I practiced discipline daily? Imagine the impact of disciplined sleep, disciplined nutrition, disciplined thinking, and disciplined self-care. The results would not appear instantly, but slowly and steadily, strength would begin to replace weakness. Many people search for shortcuts to strength, but discipline teaches a deeper lesson. Real power is built through consistency. Every disciplined choice is like placing another brick in the foundation of a stronger life. What if some of the greatest battles in your life were not happening in front of you, but quietly inside you? Many people spend their lives trying to fight visible problems while ignoring the invisible things that slowly weaken their strength. The truth is, some of the most dangerous poisons are not obvious. They are hidden in daily habits, hidden in routines, hidden in the thoughts we allow to stay in our minds. Think about this for a moment. How many people wake up every day already feeling tired, heavy, or drained without understanding why? Sometimes the body is not just exhausted from work or responsibilities. Sometimes it is overwhelmed by things that slowly accumulate inside it. Physical toxins, emotional stress, and unhealthy patterns that quietly steal energy day after day. The body is incredibly powerful, but it was never designed to carry endless burdens without cleansing. Just like a river that needs fresh water flowing through it to stay pure, the human body also needs regular cleansing from the things that pollute it. Now, imagine a house that is never cleaned. At first, a little dust appears. It seems harmless, but if the dust is ignored for weeks and months, it begins to accumulate. Soon the air becomes heavy, the environment becomes uncomfortable, and the entire space loses its freshness. The same principle applies to life. Small harmful habits that seem harmless at first can slowly build into powerful obstacles to health and clarity. One hidden poison is stress that never gets released. Many people carry stress from work, relationships, and daily pressures without giving their bodies time to recover. Over time, this constant tension drains energy and affects sleep, digestion, and focus. The body becomes exhausted not because it is weak, but because it is overloaded. Another hidden poison is negative thinking. Thoughts may seem intangible, but they have a powerful influence on the body and mind. Constant worry, fear, anger, and resentment create a mental environment that keeps the nervous system in a constant state of tension. When this happens for long periods, the body begins to feel the weight of those emotions. But hidden poisons are not only emotional or mental, they can also be physical. Processed foods, excessive sugar, lack of hydration, and poor sleep habits slowly create imbalance inside the body. The effects may not appear immediately, but over time, they begin to influence energy levels, immunity, and over vitality. Here is the powerful hook many people overlook. The body has an incredible ability to restore itself, but only when we remove what is harming it. When harmful patterns are replaced with healthier ones, the body begins to respond quickly. When stress is reduced, sleep improves. When nourishing foods replace harmful ones, energy gradually increases. When negative thinking is replaced with calm and positive focus, the mind begins to feel lighter. Cleansing life from hidden poisons is not about extreme measures. It begins with awareness. It begins with asking honest questions about the habits and influences that shape daily life. What foods are entering the body? What thoughts are filling the mind? What routines are slowly draining strength instead of restoring it? Imagine the power of slowly removing these hidden burdens. Imagine reducing stress through moments of calm and reflection. Imagine nourishing the body with foods and drinks that support healing instead of weakening it. Imagine choosing habits that protect energy instead of draining it, that protect energy instead of draining it. When harmful influences are removed, something remarkable happens. The body begins to regain balance. The mind begins to feel clearer. The spirit begins to feel lighter. What if the real reason many people feel confused, exhausted, and spiritually drained is not because they lack ability, but because the three most powerful parts of their life are constantly hitting each other? Imagine trying to move forward with great dreams in your mind while your body feels weak and your spirit feels empty. Progress becomes difficult when the mind, body, and spirit are not moving in the same direction. Most people try to fix only one part of their life. Some focus only on physical health. Others focus only on mental motivation. Some seek spiritual peace but ignore the condition of their bodies. But real strength begins to appear when these three dimensions begin to work together. Think about this powerful question for a moment. What happens when your mind is calm, your body is energized, and your spirit is at peace at the same time? When these three forces align, something extraordinary begins to happen inside a person. The mind becomes sharper, the body becomes stronger, the spirit becomes steadier. But when they are disconnected, life becomes a constant struggle. Consider the mind first. The human mind is one of the most powerful tools ever created. It controls thoughts, decisions, emotions, and focus. But when the mind is constantly filled with worry, negativity, or confusion, it becomes difficult to make wise choices. A restless mind creates stress, and stress slowly drains the body's strength. Now, think about the body. The body carries out every action you take in life. It gives you the energy to move, work, think, and pursue your goals. But when the body is poorly nourished, overworked, or deprived of rest, it becomes harder for the mind to remain focused and positive. Then there is the spirit, the inner part of a person that seeks meaning, peace, and connection with something greater than everyday struggles. When the spirit is neglected, people often feel empty even when they achieve success. There can be money, achievements, and recognition, yet something inside still feels unsettled. Now, imagine the opposite situation. Imagine a person whose mind is trained to think clearly and calmly instead of being controlled by fear or negativity. Their thoughts are disciplined and focused. When challenges appear, they respond with wisdom instead of panic. At the same time, imagine their body is cared for with proper rest, nourishment, and healthy habits. Energy flows through them naturally. They wake up feeling capable instead of exhausted. And within them, their spirit remains grounded in peace. They take time for reflection, gratitude, and inner renewal. Even during difficult moments, they maintain a deep sense of stability. This is what alignment looks like. When the mind, body, and spirit begin to move together, life begins to feel balanced instead of chaotic. Decisions become clearer. Energy becomes more consistent. Emotional strength increases. Many people search for strength in complicated systems, but the foundation of a powerful life often begins with this simple alignment. The mind must be guarded from destructive thoughts. The body must be nourished with wisdom and care. The spirit must be given moments of silence, reflection, and connection. Here is another powerful hook to consider. Every action you take affects all three dimensions at once. When you choose healthy nourishment, the body grows stronger, the mind feels clearer, and the spirit experiences calm. When you rest properly, the body recovers, the mind sharpens, and emotional balance returns. Even small moments of reflection or gratitude can calm the mind, reduce tension in the body, and strengthen inner peace. What if the biggest reason people remain stuck is not because they lack knowledge, opportunity, or ability, but because they keep waiting for the perfect time to begin? Many people spend years preparing, thinking, planning, and imagining a better future, yet they delay the most important step that creates real change: action. Think about this powerful question for a moment. How many dreams have disappeared simply because someone kept saying, "I will start tomorrow"? Tomorrow is one of the most dangerous words when it comes to personal transformation. It feels harmless, even responsible, but when tomorrow keeps repeating itself day after day, it slowly becomes the place where progress disappears. The truth is that transformation does not begin with perfect conditions. It begins with a decision. A decision to move forward even when everything is not perfectly organized. A decision to take the first step even when the path ahead is not fully clear. Many people imagine that powerful change requires dramatic effort. They believe they must suddenly transform their entire life overnight. But real progress rarely begins that way. It often begins with one simple action taken today. Imagine someone deciding to improve their health. They may not immediately change every habit in their life, but they choose one action today: drinking something nourishing, resting earlier, drinking something nourishing, taking a short walk, or replacing one unhealthy routine with a healthier one. That small action becomes proof that change has already begun. Here is the powerful hook many people overlook. Action creates momentum. When you take even the smallest step forward, something shifts inside your mind. The feeling of delay begins to disappear. Confidence begins to grow. The brain starts to recognize that progress is possible, and that realization becomes fuel for the next action. But when a person continues to delay action, something different happens. Doubt grows stronger. Motivation weakens. The mind begins to believe that change is always something that will happen later. Another important truth is that waiting often feels comfortable because it removes pressure. When a person delays action, they temporarily avoid effort, discomfort, or uncertainty. But that comfort comes with a hidden cost: the cost of lost time. Time is one of the most valuable resources any person has. Every day that passes without meaningful action is a day that cannot be recovered. Imagine looking back years later and realizing that the change you wanted could have begun much earlier with one simple step. Action, however, does not require perfection. It only requires courage. Courage to begin before everything feels ready. Courage to learn while moving forward. Courage to accept that progress may start slowly but will grow stronger over time. Think about the momentum created when someone commits to action daily. Each step builds confidence. Each improvement strengthens discipline. What once felt difficult begins to feel natural. Another powerful hook to consider is that action reshapes identity. When you take consistent steps toward a goal, you stop seeing yourself as someone who only dreams. You begin to see yourself as someone who acts, someone who builds, someone who moves forward. The mind begins to adapt to this new identity. Instead of asking, should I start? It begins asking, what is the next step? And this shift is incredibly powerful because progress becomes part of who you are. Imagine waking up each day with the mindset that today is the day to take one meaningful step forward. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today. One step today becomes another step tomorrow. Small progress accumulates quietly until the results become undeniable.